Hi, I'm Glenn, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round we'll talk about is some trout fishing over in Oklahoma, 3 suggested rivers that yours truly we like to fish, hopefully in this upcoming season.
Okay, first up is Beavers Bend State Park, the Lower Mountain River. It's the tail race to Lake Broken Bow. It's up there on the southeast corner of Oklahoma, close to Huckatown, as well as Beavers Bend or Broken Bow. And some things that you want to take away with Beavers Bend, Lower Mountain Fork, is it is a state park, so there is some camping available. There is a daily parking fee. It's different. I think that just changed about 2 years ago. And then the special zones that they had, the red, the blue, and I think it used to be 1 and number 2, those are gone now. Instead, there's a regulation or special regulations that apply to the whole area. So let's take a look at some of those regulations. So it's a year-round trout stocking opportunity, Lower Mountain Fork. Designated trout area is a 12-mile portion of the Lower Mountain Fork River. And some key things to take away from this, especially this section right here. Trout regulations, barbless hooks only. Use of bait is permitted, so that's something different. And then the day limit is 3. And you got to keep this in mind. Only one may be a brown trout greater than 30 inches, and only one rainbow trout greater than 25 inches. And keep that in your back pocket when you're out there. Don't go over that limit and keep aware of those different regulations that apply to special areas. In this case, this is Beavers Bend State Park, Lower Mountain Fork River, Oklahoma. And there's this ANS alert specifically ready to DD-mow. So, oh, by the way, when you're leaving the area, make sure you do clean up your waders and your gear and whatnot. Okay, so that is the Beavers Bend State Park, Lower Mountain River, year-round trout stocking opportunity, Oklahoma. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the Lower Illinois River. It's a tail race to Lake Tenkiller, another year-round trout stocking opportunity. And some key things to keep in your back pocket when you're over here is there is a generation schedule, so when the water's kicked up, you got to be aware of, well, you may have to move further down river when you're fishing. There is a lot of warm weather water activity, so you want to kind of play that by ear as well. But that said, come the cooling time of the year, you probably get a really good opportunity to be out there and doing some trout fishing, as well as that opportunity to get a striped bass. Additionally, is limited camping. So it's a lot of privately owned camping opportunities, resorts and whatnot, but there's no camping available along that river. There's public access. There is a special regulation zone. You can see up here, in this area right here, giving some details, right? In this section here, and I believe it's just kind of calling out this area right here. And some other things to keep in your back pocket, specifically this section again, special regulations, daily limit. Be aware that you again have a daily limit of 3 trout, only one of which may be a brown, no less than 20 inches. So 20 inches or greater, and you got to get it from that stream gauge downstream of the Gravel Pit County Road, this area over here. Okay, last on the list, Blue River, Tishomingo. This is a seasonal opportunity. There is camping available and other things to keep in your back pocket. There are 2 derbies that are typically held each year. One, I believe, Veterans Day, and then the other one is President's Day weekends. And typically there's some larger trout that are talking some nice bruisers out there. The other thing is there's a catch and release section that you want to take an opportunity if you want to try fishing this area, specifically right up here in this green section, right here. There's some really good opportunity to catch a nice sized trout. And then later on, come March, I believe they'll open up to a put and take fishery. Okay, let's go look at some of those regulations here at the Blue River. Okay, they stock from November 1 to March 31st, but oh, by the way, mark your calendar. It's going to actually be October 28th, so the weekend prior to November 1st. There's a good opportunity to be out there and catching a trout or 2. And then you also have that catch and release section area. Again, you got to have barbless, fishing flies, and oh, by the way, no bait. Designated trout area, 6.25-mile portion of the Blue River flowing to the Blue River Public Fishing and Hunting Area located in Johnson County, 4 miles east of Tishomingo, State Highway 78, 6 miles north. Good stuff there. A lot of bank access. It's available over there, and you can take a look at some of the, I guess, there are various articles, videos, and whatnot describing the area. But the key thing you want to make aware of is that special regulation again, where you can only go to that catch and release section. Everything else is put and take. But the catch and release section, that'll be available just for catch and release, and then everything else will go to a put and take the rest of the time. The other thing is I believe they stock the catch and release section 2 times a season. Again, there's some really nice ones out there. That said, you want to keep in your back pocket a few things. One, there's some general trout regulations, and then you got those special regulations for those in particular: Beavers Bend, Lower Illinois, and Blue River. And from a general trout regulation, I'd like to call out a couple of things, actually several things. There's some new limits. It's 3 trout statewide. It used to be 6, now it's 3. Additionally, you got to remember no culling. Okay, all trout must be kept on a stringer marked on what the angler's name and customer ID number. All anglers must have their own stringer, so you can't share your stringer. And that's one that we heard that usually gets a bunch of folks ticketed is as well. Can't share a stringer. And you make sure you have your tag on it. Angler's name and customer ID. Customer ID number is right on your fishing license. If you're not sure, just go reach out to Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, and they'll hook you up and tell you exactly the details. And again, no culling. So as soon as you put it on the stringer, it's considered in your possession. You cannot release it. So if you get a bigger one, it's catch and release. The other thing is 1 rod reel. So this one may bite you if you think you can have more than 1 rod and reel while you're fishing. You can bring more than 1 rod and reel, but you cannot fish more than 1 rod and reel while you're out there in that designated trout area. So you have your backup rod laying on the ground and whatnot, definitely not touching the water. You can continue on and fish with your fishing pole. The other thing is artificial flies and lures defined. So this use of any substance in combination with restricted fishing tackle is prohibited. By the way, this barbless hook piece, you want to kind of keep that in your back pocket, because how do you know for sure you have a barbless hook? Well, we've got a tip for you. A real quick tip. How do you make sure that your hook is barbless? Well, you mash it down right here. And oh, by the way, just grab your shirt or a piece of cloth. Okay, you should be able to stick it in the cloth, in and out, without it catching. If it catches, then you probably need to go and mash it down some more. Do that again here. So, see how it's just going in and out? Hey, coming out without sticking. So, good rule of thumb. I heard that. I think they do that in Missouri or Arkansas or something. Anyhow, that's how you make sure you have a barbless hook. Till next time, we'll catch y'all later. Good luck and good fishing.